Hi, welcome to Lab 4, in which we analyze and predict the motion of a spring mass system in two dimensions. So first I analyzed the video in tracker and extracted its position time data. So this is the Y position and this is the X position. So as you can see, both are exhibiting SHM motion. After copy pasting the XY position into a CSV file, I compared it with my model, and as you can see, there is somewhat of a mismatch. The predicted motion is shown in red and the actual motion is shown in blue. So there seems to be some relative error, or rather a systematic error in my predicted model. So my guess is that it's because in tracker, when I mark the position, I may not have got the actual position because the video was given by someone else, so there may be mistake in noting the position in tracker. So using that only the predicted model is made, so that's why it could be off. Otherwise qualitatively it seems to be exactly matching. This graph shows the vertical position of the ball as a function of time. Next, let us see the energy changes. So as you can see, the blue arrow represents the simulation runs too fast. Let's discuss the graph in detail. The yellow curve is the change in total energy, which is expected to be 0, and it is. The slight variation is due to the errors inherent in numerical programming. Like if the computer does the calculations, the errors will be present because of rounding off of the values. Now the blue arrow gives the change in kinetic energy, the blue curve. The red curve shows the change in spring potential energy. So that has an unexpected shape here. That is because now it's no longer moving in vertical direction alone, it's also having a horizontal movement. So because of that elliptical motion of the object, this kind of shape has appeared in the change in spring potential energy. And the green curve represents the change in gravitational potential energy. So the change in gravitational and spring potential energy is more or less out of phase, and the change in kinetic energy is happening at twice the frequency of the changes in potential energy. You can see that the blue arrow, which represents the spring force, is always directed towards the point of suspension, and it is always upwards because the entire motion, the spring is stretched. And the black arrow represents the gravitational force acting on the mass, that is the weight of the mass, and it is always vertically downwards and of fixed length and magnitude. Now let me explain the initial conditions which I used to make my modeling. So the initial time is 0, and the x and y coordinates are obtained from the tracker data, and the initial velocity is taken to be 0 because it is released from rest. And the spring constant and relaxed length, that is the natural length of the spring, are calculated from the tracker data as follows. First we measure the time period of the vertical motion of the spring mass system from the graph in the tracker data. So I just took the time taken for 6 oscillations and then divided by 6 to get 1.519 seconds. So then I use this equation to find the spring constant by substituting this time period value of 1.519 here inside t. here. So I got spring constant as 6.88 Newton per meter. Then to find the natural length, I use the fact that when the spring mass system is in equilibrium, the net force should be 0, and so the spring force should be equal in magnitude to the weight of the mass, and the spring force is proportional to the extension S, and S is the actual length minus the natural length. So rearranging this, we get the natural length is the actual length during equilibrium, in this case, minus mg by k. So at equilibrium, the actual length we found out by measuring the length when the spring mass system was at rest. So that was taken as 0.70 meters. So when I substitute that, I get L0, the natural length, as 0.127 meters. Then to make the simulation happen, I just calculate the final velocity as initial velocity plus acceleration into time increment. Acceleration is net force by mass. Net force is sum of the spring force and gravitational force. Similarly, the final position is initial position plus v dt. V is the one which we calculated here as final velocity. So this happens in every increment in time. Regarding the energy changes, since the system consists of only the mass, spring and earth, there is no energy being transferred out or into the system. And since the mass of the spring is 0, it doesn't contribute to any change in kinetic or gravitational potential energy. So the sum of all the changes should be 0, and that's what we saw in the simulation also. Regarding the what does it mean question, already we answered that energy principle is satisfied. And regarding the two time periods, the time period along the horizontal motion was calculated as 1.638 seconds from the tracker data, and that matches very well with the time period of a pendulum of length 0.7 meters. So it means that the 2D motion of a spring mass system is a combined motion of a simple pendulum and a vertical spring mass system. So the time periods along vertical direction is given by this formula, 2 pi root of m by k, and the time period along the horizontal direction is given by 2 pi root of L by g, this one. Now let me wrap up my video with a quick discussion of the code. So here these three arrows are for showing the three vectors. Blue is for spring force, black is for weight force, and red is for the net force. And this is where we are initializing the position of the ball and the velocity of the ball. The ball is used to represent the mass attached to the spring. Here we are taking the data from the tracker, which we saved in a CSV file, and this is the ball which is used to show the tracker data, and the increment in time is 1/20th of the time interval between each frame in our video, which we analyzed using tracker. And spring constant is initialized here, natural length is initialized here, and the length at time t is calculated as the position of the mass minus the attachment point of the spring. This is the unit vector, this is the extension, and here we initialize the kinetic energy, potential energy, and spring potential energy, and this is the iteration. So the entire motion in the tracker video is for 9.30 seconds, so for that duration we are calculating it here. So in each iteration the gravitational force is calculated, it has only the y component. The spring force is calculated, the net force is the sum of these two, and the velocity is calculated here, and the position, new position, is calculated here, and the extension is updated here, The length of the spring is also updated here, and the trail is shown for the ball's movement. And here the energy changes are being updated, and here the arrows are being displayed in an updated manner. And here we are plotting the position of the tracker data ball. So every 20th iteration, the data from the tracker will be displayed, because we have data only 1 by 20th of once every 20 times the predicted data appears, we have the data of the measured values. So that's why we do this counter greater than 19. Thank you.